My friends, for more than a decade, I have warned my radio listeners that the globalists, the private banking cartel that controls the planet to a great extent, was moving to establish regulations and laws worldwide to take private bank accounts, to take 401ks, to take stocks across the board in what they call a haircut of the general public. This is after-tax money. This isn't, oh, they claim you didn't pay taxes and then steal your money without due process. This is just take your money. Now, they already tried this a few years ago in Greece, and it caused a huge panic. Now they've actually done it in the Mediterranean country of Cyprus, where a lot of Europeans vacation and also retire. And they are taking 10% out of everyone's bank account. Well, actually, it's selectively enforced. But these are people that have already paid taxes. It is the European Union coming into their nation and levying an across-the-board 10% out of your bank account. So if you have $100 or 100 euros, that's 10 euros. If you have $1 billion, that's 100 million. If you have 1,000, that's 100. I mean, this is unbelievable. And of course, they're saying they're going to do it again. And we have the BBC report right there that breaks down the panic. Posted the article. We posted it at Infowars.com. It's excellent. And then we have the entire breakdown. And this is to back up debts of the mega banks themselves. Now, remember what Iceland did. Iceland, I'm going to cover that in a moment. They just said no for 2 years. The media said it was the people's debt. And then it turned out it was the foreign bank's debt. The British government tried to declare all 400,000 Icelanders terrorists because they weren't paying it and tried to claim an embargo on letting them fly on British Airways. But all that imploded as well. The real terrorists were the globalist operatives, mainly British bankers from the Bank of England, that took over the country and signed them on to the tune of over $200,000 of debt per person to back up their private derivatives. But they just said no. So this is the model that is being pushed worldwide and what they plan for here in the United States. That's why they're buying billions of bullets, setting up checkpoints, getting you used to it, militarizing police. The whole cashless society is about absolutely raping you. If you think Bank of America with $5 charges per debit or credit card transaction is bad, wait till they've gotten rid of cash. That's why I support gold and silver. And I support other fiat private currencies as well. It's just period. We need more diversity, more black market, as the establishment calls it, more of a free economy. Now you know why for decades, they're just now admitting it, they've had unlimited foreign spy agencies, not just U.S. spy agencies, but Interpol tied into all of your bank accounts, every transaction you make. Nixon was going to go to jail for having people's IRS records. Now your IRS records are shared throughout every federal agency for whoever wants them under Obamacare. And so they admit, when this came out a few days ago, that, oh, yes, we've been watching you for years. But then the public kind of freaked out because they haven't passed a law yet to make this legal. And so they said, oh, no, now we're going to start. It's Obama's secret cybersecurity order that he says Congress can't see from last year. So just beyond 1984. Just type in Iceland arrest bankers, and you'll get all the articles about them last year, back in September after a 2-year investigation. First, they called their bluff. It came out 92%, 93%, depending on which article, of the debt was not the Icelanders, and that their government ministers were really foreign banking agents, mainly Goldman Sachs and others. And so they just arrested them. and by the way, they now have the fastest growing economy in what is known as the whole Oceania, England, the United States, the islands out there in the Atlantic. They now have the fastest growing economy because they arrested the parasitic globalist, who, again, implode economies by design. They create the massive derivatives and then sign you onto them to control you. They could just triage it and write it off. We give $85 billion a month as Americans to foreign banks. Look that up. Truth is, MF Global stole $1.2 billion. Remember, this has been going on for over a year, and still many of the creditors of the $40 billion that just disappeared into a black hole, $40 billion Chapter 11, have not been given any of their money back. So understand, ladies and gentlemen, the whole police state is about robbing you and your family. and getting away with it. In fact, if you type in Davos wants $100 trillion in new credit, you'll get the Financial Times of London from 2 years ago, as well as London Telegraph, where they're openly saying they're going to have new global cashless society controlled by a handful of families, and that you will have to then pay global carbon taxes and other taxes, Tobin taxes, wellhead taxes, digital money transfer taxes that are paid to them. I mean, this is rule by mega bankers. And that's the main problem. That's why nothing changes. I'll be covering this on the radio 4 to 6 Central today and back on the weekday show at Infowars.com. Please spread the word about this, because they can't get away with it unless they do these tests in Europe and nothing happens, nobody gets in trouble. The level of tyranny we will live under is the exact level we put up with, as Thomas Jefferson said. So being compliant only greases the skids. Acting like a sheep only brings the wolves. America has had so much liberty and freedom because the people were rugged individualists and wouldn't put up with being pushed around. We're now having all of our wealth stolen because the public has become sheep-like. So rediscover your huevos or become a slave. It is that simple. Alex Jones signing off for Infowars.com. Don't forget the nightly news, 7 o'clock Central weekdays at PrisonPlanet.tv or InfoWarsNews.com. And you can subscribe for $5.95 a month and get 11 memberships to give to your friends and family. That's less than 55 cents a month per person, and support the true revolution in information warfare using our weapon, the truth. PrisonPlanet.tv.